I'm Shirley Martin from Be Totally Fit for Life. Happy Friday! There's been a lot of information out on the internet over the past couple of weeks about foam rolling and its benefits. I wanted to share with you some common ways that foam rollers can be used to reduce muscle pain and tension. But first, if you've never done this before, make sure it's okay. Check with your doctor or medical provider about whether or not it's safe for you to do. And if they believe it's safe but have modifications, make sure you get those. I've got a couple of different foam rollers here that are portable. Most of them are like twice the length of these, and it looks like a fat noodle. At any rate, these can be great for getting out muscle tension. I like these smaller sizes because I can pack them in a gym bag and go, or I can take them on a trip if I want. This one's a little softer, I can squeeze it. This one's pretty firm. I mean, I can squeeze a little bit, but it's nice for people who don't have a lot of muscle pain or tender areas that need foam rolled. It gets out good, muscle knots and that kind of thing. This one is nice for people who are a little bit more sensitive or trying to roll out areas that are sensitive, like the IT band. I like to use it because I have piriformis syndrome, and the piriformis muscle happens to be in my backside. And what it does is it clenches and then it pulls up the hamstring, and then I have pain shooting from my hip all the way down to my ankle. So I like to use them whenever I travel and I find that I'm in a lot of pain. I can work that out a lot easier. What you do is you take a shower, and after you get dressed, you can foam roll, or you can do it after your exercise session, but you do need to warm up for at least 10 minutes, preferably after a full workout. So, I'll show you with this one. Most people will start with their backs. And so sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But you can put it right behind your back, just below the shoulder blades, and roll back and forth. And then you can work it down a little further under your back to get a little lower on the lower back. Now sometimes that's difficult. And so if you can't get down on the floor, you can't hold yourself up like that, maybe your neck is really sensitive, then the wall might be your better bet. This one might not be enough if you can't put enough tension against it. Usually you lean up against the wall, put it in the middle of your back, sit down and stand up. You put a little pressure and you can adjust that pressure. Now if your knees are sensitive, then you might want to see if you can do it on a platform like some gyms have. I know our rec center has platforms, and sometimes people use that instead. But you can work down your body, and I usually like the black one for this, but I'll stay on this one. So I sit on it, and I first start like way back at the tailbone area and down. So usually 8, maybe 10 repetitions. Some people only do 5 and rest and try another 5. That's fine. Now for piriformis, I angle myself slightly, my foot's still behind me. And then, yeah, very tender. And I roll from the hip down to the top of the back of the thigh. You can do that on each side. Now, if you have IT band problems and super sensitive, this one's good. The harder one can be very, very painful. But I know, like runners, some swimmers, people who stand a lot get IT band problems. So your foot comes to the front. You hold yourself up and roll down the leg. Wow. So from the hip to just above the knee. You can feel that. So if it's too painful, do it a few times, stop, and then try again. Now sometimes your quads are very tight because you've been doing a lot of exercises like lunges and leg extensions or a lot of leg work in general. So what you can do, and it looks kind of funny actually, is put it underneath your thighs, and then you're on your hands rolling from the top of the knee, never on the joint, to the top of the thighs. And it's always easier to do both of them. I mean, if you want to try to do just one, you can, but it takes a lot of work to hold up the other one. You can do the calf. The problem with the calf is if you have a blood clot in your lower leg, you could accidentally dislodge it. And so you don't want to do that. So if you have any odd leg pain, have it checked out before you foam roll, especially if it's not muscle in nature. They get usually very painful and you get a lump. So with the thigh, or the calf, you start here just below the knee and work your way down. And then of course you would do the other side. I don't do them both at the same time, just mostly because you can't get enough pressure on the back of the thigh, especially if you get a muscle knot in the calf, like from plyometrics, jumping a lot. One of the things that people like to do this for is up in the shoulder and down the arm. It's not as easy to do on the floor, although you can, but I prefer to stand. So I start right at the shoulder, pull my hand palm out, and roll to the elbow, but not on the elbow. And I can lean in and add a little bit more pressure if I want. Then I can take it thumb up, or thumb to the wall, palm up, and roll down through. And then I can take it so that the palm is down and I get more of the tricep. You can do the bicep, so I have to kind of turn my back to you. So you start right on the bicep, just before the inside of the elbow and to the shoulder. Now, if you've done a lot of lifting and carrying, or you've done a lot of push-ups, those are really valuable. You can't really do your feet very well with them, but a lot of people will use a tennis ball instead. Sometimes if there's hand stiffness and pain, you can roll a ball on the wall with your palm. We never use this directly on the neck. If you have neck pain and stiffness and tension, you might want to check with a physical therapist or a personal trainer in the gym where you work and have them take a look and see if they can recommend something special to work out knots and that. Otherwise, massage therapy would be your next best bet. So I hope that you've learned some helpful tips on how to use a foam roller effectively. May God bless you and have a great weekend.